All right, we're back out here at Fowler Park with Gerardo, our lead electrical engineer, and we have a Developer Mini over here with the Hereflow optical flow sensor and the Teraranger rangefinder. We have the GPS physically disconnected again. If I'm with it at the end of the flight, we'll actually open up the top cover to show no movie magic involved in this.
Sure.
Okay. And we didn't show the screen recording on the Legion. What we did have to do, we'll do another test to verify this is the case, set the EKF origin, basically setting the home position. So Developer, or in our case, Developer Mini, knows exactly where it's at, or at least roughly speaking knows where it's at to be able to take off without the GPS. But seeing as you're without GPS, that really shouldn't be necessary, but I think that might have prevented us from arming previously, but that could have been totally unrelated. Or
Actually, I haven't tried to arm it without the EFK. It will arm, so I think it's just kind of a nice to do thing, but we could try with and without and see if it has any effects. So
that might be another day, another test, but
yeah.
We will also pick up, we have a couple other Developer Mini here. Neither of these will fly as part of this video, but picking up from the cliffhanger in the last video, we weighed the Developer Mini in this case without the battery or props installed, and so we'll give you the updated info for how much a Developer Mini weighs with that battery and those props. But without further ado, we have this Radio Master Boxer set up with this Developer Mini over here, and we're just going to take it off and see how it performs.
Yeah, so it should be ready.
All right, armed.
Motors armed.
That top cover is maybe not on to the best degree, but I'll pretend I didn't notice that and call it out. Very, very, very nice stable hover. Again, no GPS. Okay, the battery status lights are just not in like their correct holes. I was like, okay, one is.
Okay, yeah, I think they may have got pushed around maybe,
yeah,
with the amount of wiring and things I had to put in there. Just remember not to.
Yeah, you'll see this light above the white one to the top right of this rear right boom arm. There should be a light coming out of that hole, but we have not, on some of these Developer Mini, especially our test models, have not installed the batteries using epoxy or actually CA glue to hold them in place, just to make them a little bit more repairable and not having to take like an X-Acto blade or anything around the light to pop it out of place.
So just go ahead, go fly around, see if we see anything. And let's see if we can just add a little variation to it and see if we get some drift as we introduce more movement.
I know in the parameters we have Developer Mini speed limited.
Yeah.
Do you think it's even further limited with this Hereflow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it the Hereflow or the rangefinder that limits it?
It's the Hereflow.
Okay.
You're just trying to minimize, because that Hereflow,
it's constantly trying to find common points between the two camera sensors, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, more of a safety thing.
I mean, that's still a pretty quick speed. I mean, especially if you're going to be doing any sort of like filming or anything like that.
Flying indoors, really, is kind of
especially flying indoors, yeah.
So see if you could just bring it up, let it hover again, and then also what we're going to see is some like weird drops in the battery, because the lidar is not going through that power management board. It's going directly off the battery. So I think it's giving it a bit of a false reading at times. So that's where you might see more of that voltage sag happen.
No, that's probably pretty negligible compared to like what the motors consume to keep Developer Mini, up in the air.
Right. It's just it's thinking it's taking more, if that makes sense.
And so what's the power for the lidar? Is that 5 volts? And are we?
No, that's the full 4S.
Okay.
Yeah. So it takes quite a bit of juice.
And now what happens if you
don't? I don't know. So It did well. I can't promise that every time.
Develop Air Mini, is Jacob tamper or annoying proof, or, you know, bother proof? You guys should try that out. I have the force.
It's coming back down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Yeah, dude, I have the force, man. I didn't hear you at all, Brian. Probably for the best. All right, you want to take it over, or do you want to see me do any more testing?
No,
take on
I mean,
the liability?
that is pretty much all I really wanted to see, so any real testing now is just kind of extra. I'm glad we had you as a test dummy to see what happens if you walk underneath the lidar.
Emphasis on the test dummy.
Yeah.
Definitely not the test smarty.
Now, you've flown a lot of minis with GPS.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? How stable is it? Almost like you can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
Is this
other than
more
the
stable?
speed being limited, I wouldn't be able to tell that the GPS is disconnected. And I was like, wow, maybe the GPS is performing better than typical. And I'm going to be interested to see now testing without the GPS physically connected at all versus just using this as an augmentation to the GPS. Because again, we've only done that flight like once where we weren't going into land flight mode automatically.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I think we actually did do that. So that was our first time where we used in combination of both.
Yeah.
But now we've set up the parameters, so this one is just, it's not even looking for it.
Right, and actually, so I am keeping my wherewithal with me. Just unplugging it. Again, given this is not how these Develop Air Mini are typically wired up, and if we were to actually refine this, what we call mod kit, basically any payload that you attach to a Develop Air, we call them mod kits as their proof of concepts for a more refined module that will be for our consumer drone products we're working on. But in any case, we do have pass-through holes, so instead of using the side plates as we've done here just for kind of convenience and, you know, quick and dirty testing.
I think honestly a lot of people, until they really get to finalize,
this is a good way to do it.
It's easy. Yep. It makes it easy, and that's kind of why we put those side plates there too, is so you can just have places to run wire and quickly get out here and test different modules.
And now, as great as electrical engineer Gerardo is, and as great of a showman I am, neither of us are really strongly suited in CAD, but if you have anyone that is on your team or part of your group, or you yourself have CAD skills, you can also take the side plate files that we make publicly available and modify them with your own connectors. So you might have seen on some of the larger Develop Air, we have a connector with four ports to plug in PWM or servo-driven devices primarily, but you could do that for other types of connectors as well.
DB9, several different types. And it's just when you get more to a finalized stage, that's what we'll do with this mod kit as well, is have all that kind of incorporated and encased, and then have a side plate as well.
And all that's to show show and tell the Develop Air Mini's GPS, which in this case is a Holybro M9N GPS, is not connected to the Pixhawk Mini, which would be right there on the side in the GPS 2 port. So
yeah, no, it's just taking space.
Yep, I think that's all we needed to show on this Develop Air Mini. I'll somewhat button it back up just to bring it over to the table, and then let's give you what you've all been waiting for from this last video, the weight of a Develop Air Mini fully built out, ready to fly. Da 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 da. Getting into freedom units and pounds. Any of you communists over in Europe, or really outside of America, will need to do the conversion yourself. 2.72 pounds. So you can see that the battery is almost the weight of the Develop Air Mini itself, but The Develop Air Mini, if you didn't watch the last video, without the battery, without the props, weighed like 1.53 pounds, I want to say, just a little over 1.5 pounds, and just a little under 3 pounds once you have the battery and props on. So still have 1.5 pound payload that you can attach different payloads, or as we call them, mod kits, to the Develop Air Mini. So still have plenty of opportunity to expand what Develop Air Mini can do just via manual flight through autonomous waypoint missions. But of course, that's really all on you to do that sort of development right now. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out directly, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I think this is it for this flight test video, and you'll catch us in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.